Hello, and thanks for joining us. Well, they call it the ultimate Aussie road trip. From Cairns in the east, across to Broome in the west, the Savannah Way carves right across the top of Australia. More than 3,500 kilometres of remote and quite remarkable country. And I'm truly excited to be sharing a part of this trip with you over the next half hour. Buckle up, it's going to be a big adventure. Leaving Queensland's tropical coast, the Savannah Way unravels across the top of the continent. As it heads west, the highway threads through some of the state's top attractions, like the Undara lava tubes, serene Cobalt Gorge, and Croydon and Normanton, where the Gulflander rides the rails from nowhere to nowhere. Wow, I really feel like I'm in the outback now. You've caught up with me near Normanton, where the Savannah Way skims close to the Gulf of Carpentaria. It's a 45-minute detour, bitumen all the way, to Currumba, where the Norman River feeds into Gulf waters. Alison, hello.
Welcome, Kate.
Skipper, or should I say skipper? Alison and Glenn run the Ferryman Croc and Sunset Tours, a great way for new arrivals to get their bearings.
Currumba is actually a port. Most of the boats that are in through there are barramundi boats.
Alison shares stories of industry and history, but it's the wildlife that steals the show.
We're being stalked, everyone. Now, Humphrey is a teenage jabberoo.
Over on the mudflats, more black-necked storks muster for a feed.
Yeah, chuk, 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 chuk. And then try and feed the baby that's at the back.
Now, if you think that's an impressive encounter...
Ahead of us, everyone, we have got a crocodile now. It's about 7 feet long, and the tail takes up half.
It's not quite as big as I thought he would be, but that was my first croc in the wild. And not my last. Here's croc number 2, pretending to be a lump of mud. And Glenn gets the trifecta when he spots another monster in the mangroves.
Yeah, so please remember to be croc-wise in croc country. Please don't pat them, poke them, feed them or dance with them.
Clearly, a certain bird didn't get the memo. She's asking for trouble, I think. Sadly, that's our quota of crocs for the day. But the second part of this croc and sunset tour is just warming up. Now, a fresh Currumba banana prawn. Looks delicious. Tastes delicious too. Who would have thought? And who'd have thought that Gulf country could offer such indulgent experiences? Alison, this is so special, and you don't have to go all the way to WA to see the sunset on the water.
No, most people in Queensland have no idea. When you say Queensland's west coast, they go, where?
This is my very first time in such a remote part of Queensland.
It's not so bad.
It's wonderful. Yeah, I think it's wonderful, and the wildlife.
You know, some places are just breathtaking, only on the outside. We'll see. This one's subtle, and it's a different kind of beautiful.
It's easy to see why southern travellers trek to Currumba winter after winter. Plenty camp here at Sunset Caravan Park near Currumba Point. The park has powered sites and self-contained villas set in shady gardens. And with the river close by, well, let's just say anglers who stay here are very happy. Barramundi is the premier catch in these parts. And Currumba's new Barra Discovery Centre is on a scale to match the mighty fish it celebrates. Mandy Tompkins is our guide.
So what we have here is a sculpture made from some of the drift netting that's been left throughout the Gulf.
There's plenty to catch the eye here, from the interactive and informative to the downright fun.
Yeah, that's it.
But the real stars are these fine fellows. The centre is a working hatchery after all.
We breed barramundi here for restocking purposes only. There's a number of different threats in the Gulf to barramundi. Everyone likes to catch them here.
So healthy appetites.
Yes, very healthy. Let's have a look.
Oh! Jumping barramundi.
Yeah, their tails wagging.
They are ravenous. Their big siblings are ready for a feed too, and the hatchery's Simon Philippa needs a hand, namely mine. Oh my goodness.
Now the big lady here with the tag, her name is Flossie. She's the biggest fish we have here in our hatchery. She's very happy, very healthy, and she knows what time it is.
What time is it,
It's
Simon?
food time, it's tucker time. Yeah.
Right.
Your fingers are safe, 100% safe.
Perfectly safe, right.
That's it, smile nicely. Perfect.
You didn't tell me about the splash.
I think that was the idea.
Next, when my nerves have settled, a cosmic encounter through the lens of culture.
So the shooting star, we believe that it's the rainbow serpent's eye searching the country.
Beyond Normanton, the Savannah Way switches between bitumen and bulldust. It's 4 hours west to Burketown, and the feeling of being far flung is palpable. I can understand now why they call it the Savannah Way, because everywhere you look, there's red dirt and, of course, these wide open grasslands. Apparently, the early explorers called them the Plains of Promise because they could see the potential in the area for agriculture. Not sure the land lived up to farmers' expectations, but for tourists, this is fertile ground. 70 clicks shy of Burketown, the Savannah Way crosses the Leichhardt River. It's a popular free campsite for travellers. This beautiful little waterhole is less than 200 metres from the road. It's probably not at its best at the moment because of the dry season, but that water looks very tempting. Mind you, that said, I doubt that I'll take a risk in croc country. Beyond the Leichhardt, there's sealed road all the way to Burketown. This small outpost sits 900 kilometres west of Cairns. It's the Gulf's oldest settlement, named for Robert O'Hara Burke of the doomed Burke and Wills expedition. If only they'd stumbled across an oasis like this. Savannah Lodge is a surprisingly lush retreat in the heart of harsh country. Modern air-conditioned cabins have all the comforts from full kitchen to wireless internet. Step outside your room and there's a cool garden paradise to explore. Burketown and its shire are home to the Wani and Gangaledagarawa people. These Wani girls are in town for a young women's empowerment program.
But my heart is in Savannah, my heart is in Savannah.
There's a proud Indigenous culture in this part of the Gulf Savannah.
G'day Kay, how are you?
Brenton, good. The Visitors Centre is the base for Yagali Tours, owned and run by Indigenous guides. I've jumped on board one of their tag-along tours, bound for an otherworldly place. Just north of Burketown lie Australia's biggest salt pans, vast and silent, seemingly empty, yet alive with cultural meaning.
Back in the old days, our people used to use the salt pans to travel across nighttime, so they used to come across them at night when the moon is at its fullest, so you can see for kilometres.
Tonight, we'll taste a similar experience. Yagali Tours have exclusive access to this site for stargazing. With 2 powerful professional telescopes, we'll peer into an ancient sky. But first, all eyes are on the extraordinary light show in the western sky. As the sun retreats and fires blaze, Brenton shares a traditional yarn handed down from his mother, the story of a traveller called Giddigil.
He's very skinny and very hungry, and he came across these mob setting up for a big quabbery that night, and they had a lot of dugong meat, turtle meat cooking. He went in and stole all the meat while no one was watching. As he was running away from the people, he was eating that meat, eating it, and as he kept eating all that meat, he kept getting fatter and fatter, and his tummy got really round. So when you see the full moon in the sky, that's the Giddigil.
I reckon greedy Giddigal would be jealous of us tonight. This is such a beautiful setting here. Why is it so suited to stargazing?
You can't see anything at all. It's very dark. The town lights are a long way away.
Yeah, there's no competition
the
for the
only light
stars.
we got is the fire. So the stars are nice and bright here.
Wow, that's so beautiful. And just looking up there really puts life in perspective. When we return, a visit to the land of the giants.
Wow.
The Demon Duck of Doom, there were birds up to 3.5 metres high and up to 400 kilograms in weight.
We're on an epic drive through Queensland's Gulf Savannah. And what's an outback road trip without lunch at a country pub? Gregory Downs Hotel is 2 hours' drive south of Burketown. Built in 1877, it lies on one of the Savannah Way's alternative routes. A classic roadhouse where travellers top up the tank and tuck into a countery. The hot tip is not to go past the steak burger, which would be difficult to do. Now, that's hardly surprising because we're deep in cattle country here. Graziers have been working this land for generations. Wow. From here, road signs point due west towards our next destination. More stark, scrubby country, more red dirt roads, until out of nowhere, a paradise appears. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. This could be a mirage. I better check it out. No, this is definitely real. This water looks gorgeous, the lily pads, and it looks so inviting. Adele's Grove Camping Park is an unexpected Eden in the wilds of the far northwest. Lawn Hill Creek is its centrepiece, and on these shady banks you can set up camp or throw your bags into one of the park's permanent tents. There are also ensuite rooms, even a bar and a restaurant. Paradise indeed. Surprisingly, mortal hands helped shape this divine place. They belong to Albert de la Stange, a French-Argentinian gardener. Adele's Grove owner, Rob Lomo, shares the story.
He was virtually commissioned here to start a botanical gardens.
By the state
By
government?
the government at the time.
Right.
Yeah, and Albert was here growing things until the 1957. Like, it's in the middle of nowhere.
I know, and what a beautiful surprise
Yes,
it is.
It is too.
Albert's garden is an ideal base for exploring Budjamala National Park, which isn't all palms and flowing creeks. These are the Riversley fossil fields, about an hour from Adele's Grove.
Now, 26 million years ago, the top of this hill was the bottom of the lake.
Oh,
And
really?
all of the area around us was covered in rainforest.
Savannah guide Phil Klukas has brought me to a place of world significance, one of the richest fossil sites yet discovered.
Bones have fallen into this lake deposit and been preserved in the limey mud that was at the bottom of them.
What sort of animals would have been in this?
Yep, so this is the
area?
age of the megafauna.
Wow,
On the wall here we have a depiction of a couple of the animals from Riversley,
that's a surprise.
and that's one of 13 crocodiles that lived here. That's not a saltwater crocodile, he's a terrestrial crocodile. So he lived on the land.
Ooh.
He had a cousin that lived up the tree, a drop croc.
Was his cousin as big? A drop croc?
A drop croc.
Really?
Yep. We had kangaroos, giant kangaroos, and in those days they used to run on all fours. They were up to 2.5 metres high, and at that stage some of them were carnivorous.
I'm relieved that fossils are all that remain of such formidable creatures.
Right, so on the side of this rock face we have the skull of a crocodile.
I bet I can find it. Or not.
So that's the crocodile's skull there, that's his nose, tooth, teeth, eye socket there. They have over 40,000 museum quality specimens from Riversley, as well as tens of thousands of other specimens. It's generally accepted as being one of the 10 top fossil sites in the world, and David Attenborough actually places it in his top 5. Right, congratulations, you've just made it to the bottom of the lake. 26 million years ago we would have been underwater, and all out here would have been higher than us and covered in rich rainforest.
Remnants of those ancient forests can be found beside the Gregory River. This is where our Riversley tour ends, and after tales of drop crocs and carnivorous roos, a good strong cuppa is in order. That hit the spot. Thanks, Phil.
You're welcome.
Now, next up, a site that I've been looking forward to since we began this trip, and the Queensland Weekender cameraman rated as one of their top spots in the state. Now, they've seen a lot, so must be good, Phil.
Yep, you're going to love it, Kate.
Okay. It's morning, and I'm on a mission to see Budjamala's most breathtaking feature.
Good morning, Kay. You ready for a walk this morning?
I sure am.
We're about to head off to the island stack.
Great. Ange Klukas is my companion. Like her husband Phil, she's a savannah guide.
We have 20 kilometres of walking tracks here in the park, so
plenty of opportunity to get fit.
And they're all beautiful.
Ange is leading me to the Island Stack Lookout. It's a few hundred metres to the top and a steady climb.
We're getting to the halfway mark now, Kay.
Well, that's
You'll
good
be glad
news,
to
Ange. You're setting a cracking pace. This is one of the most popular tracks in the park, and I can soon see why. Oh my goodness, look at this.
So spectacular, isn't
What
it?
a view. My first glimpse of Lawn Hill Gorge, and it is so well worth the climb.
This is the Island Stack. So the Island Stack is formed when Lawn Hill Creek came down and divided. It hit the sandstone here, was unable to carve its way through, so it divides and eventually forms the lower gorge on the other side of the Island Stack.
Wow. And just a peek of the water and that very happy looking canoeist.
Yes, who wouldn't be happy doing that?
Absolutely. In fact, I think I'll join them. But who needs a paddle? This solar-powered pontoon boat offers near silent running on the gorge. Oh, it's very peaceful and serene. While the soul is soothed, the mind gets plenty to chew on from guide Alex Mudrick.
Currently we're in the middle gorge. It's a 3-gorge system. We're sitting in roughly approximately 12 metres of water, and that varies. Now, believe it or not, we've actually got water flowing through here. We've got 4 million litres an hour. And you just look at it, it looks so still.
Oh, look at this.
So as we're heading into the gorge, you can see it's sandstone.
Any estimates on how old this rock structure is?
It goes into millions of years. The Wani people believed it was carved out by the serpent, rainbow serpent. So when it carved it out, it filled it up with water to keep its body wet and moist. Once it left the gorge, it told the Wani people to make sure you look after it, don't pollute it, don't destroy it, and I'll leave the water here. We've got 2 little falls around the corner. It's fantastic for massages. So
Massages?
Massages,
Oh, now you're
absolutely.
talking, Mark.
The second fall's got a rock perfectly placed there. You sit under it, you get great shoulders and neck massage. Absolutely perfect there.
Alex is clearly smitten with Lawn Hill, and like all love affairs, it's changed him. He left a lucrative city career and found unexpected riches. What appeals to you about this job?
Well, I don't sit in peak hour traffic anymore. I don't have to do monthly reports and budgets. I'm with Mother Nature. I don't even know if there is words to describe how peaceful and tranquil it is, because it's just, you don't miss anything else. You just feel part of the nature. You just feel part of it.
You can feel part of it too. Lawn Hill Gorge is just one of the treasures of Queensland's Gulf Savannah. Head to our website to discover resources for planning your own Savannah Way adventure. For more holiday ideas, visit queensland.com and Queensland Rail Travel. And remember to tag your favourite holiday snaps or scenery shots to Queensland Weekender. One last look at this rugged landscape from Harry's Hill near Adele's Grove. It's named after Harry Bergen. He was a well-respected and much-loved Indigenous tour guide who worked in the area. So here's to Harry and his memory, and here's to a remarkable trip. I was promised it was something special, and it truly is. Well, that's all we have for you this week. I hope you can join us again soon for more Queensland Weekender. Bye for now.
To Harry.
Cheers.